Hey everyone, Justin Smith, their scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama. Thank you guys so much for joining me today on our YouTube channel. The first thing I need you to do for me, please, is hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Subscribers, hit the notification bell, be notified when we drop content on our YouTube channel. Back with another breaking recruiting news video as the Crimson Tide continue to add to the 2023 class during the month of August after a huge month on the recruiting trail in July. Today they picked up four-star offensive lineman Miles McVay out of East St. Louis High School in Illinois. He becomes the Tide's 19th commit overall. Their fourth offensive lineman pledge joining Olas Elanine, Wilkin Formby, and also Wyquez McElderry as the Crimson Tide try to pick up an improved number of offensive linemen in this 2023 class compared to the 2022 cycle, where they basically only pulled in two guys since Dane Shore decided to transfer, citing mental health reasons. Of course, we wish the best for Shore, but McVay is a huge pick for the Crimson Tide, picking up his commitment over programs like Michigan State, Texas A&M, Jackson State. Also was looking at Oregon as well. Took multiple official visits in June, only got out to Tuscaloosa to take an unofficial visit during the month of June. Did get back in July to take an unofficial visit as well to visit the Crimson Tides during their Champions Cookout. Alabama's coaching staff has been recruiting McVay for a little over a year. He earned an offer from Alabama after camping in Tuscaloosa in June of 2021. Of course, that offer came from Nick Saban. He impressed Saban, also Alabama's former offensive line coach, Doug Marrone. Of course, Marrone departed from the Alabama football program, but the Crimson Tide continued to show heavy interest in McVay. Nick Saban got out to East St. Louis in January. I know McVay made another trip to Tuscaloosa in January as well. I think a few days later after Marrone and Nick Saban visited East St. Louis, just showing that continued interest in McVay. He continued to build his relationship with Alabama's coaching staff. Even their defensive line coach, Freddie Roach, has told me on multiple occasions that he has a great relationship with Roach. He also has a great relationship with Alabama's new offensive line coach, Eric Wolford, who he had a relationship back when Wolford was on Kentucky staff. So both of those guys played a huge role in Alabama picking up a commitment from McVay on today. Of course, Eric Wolford has played a huge role in the Crimson Tide picking up all of their offensive linemen commits, and McVay is no different. Like I said earlier, he is their fourth offensive lineman commit, and the Crimson Tide are went after some towering offensive linemen. Just taking a look at these guys' size and length. McVay 6'7", Olas Elanine 6'7" as well, and Wilkin Formby is a solid 6'8", so you have a lot of length coming to Alabama's roster in the future. So that's really enough to talk about his recruitment. Of course, he chose the Crimson Tide over Michigan State, Oregon. Let's get into some of his junior film. I want to break it down a little bit with you guys, add that to our commitment video process. Take a look at what he's able to do as a junior. Like I said, 6'7", 345 pounds, a wide body guy. So you're going to see consistently on his film, he knows how to make himself wide, which makes it extremely hard for an edge rusher to get around him. So you're going to see him consistently do that on his film. You also see him being able to block in space, continue to block down the field, get to the second level, be physical. As he got to the second level on that play, made 2 extra blocks down the field. Of course, with those long arms, often initiates contact even in pass and run blocking situations. I think something that's also really interesting about his game is his experience as a pull blocker. You see, we're going to see on his film a lot of times where he basically pull blocks and continues to be a lead blocker up the field for his running back, which is very impressive for a guy 6'7", 345 pounds, which is something that we are seeing right now. He pull block and became a lead blocker for his running back, looking very comfortable in space, nice footwork for his guy his size. I think he could be the Crimson Tide's top rated and ranked as far as being college-ready offensive lineman who they could pull in this 2023 class. I think a guy like Wilkin Formby would definitely battle it out with them, because I think both of those guys are really good in terms of pass protection. But I really like the way that Miles McVay can run block as well, carries his weight really well. Of course, with him being 6'7", 345 pounds, some may say he may need to hit up the weight room, continue to keep his weight in check. But I will bring it to your attention what Nick Saban said at a recent press conference. He feels that the University of Alabama football's coaching staff and their nutrition staff feel that they have the weight problem under control. They basically have eliminated all weight concerns, which is what Nick Saban said earlier in a fall camp press conference. So I don't think his weight is definitely not a problem at all, with him being 6'7", having that long wingspan, nice arms, bringing a lot to the table. This is a really, really solid pickup for the Crimson Tide in the 2023 recruiting class. Moving forward, the Tide are definitely not done recruiting offensive lineman. I think they will pull in another one here, and the guy we all have our eyes on is Raymond Polito out of California, who's set to announce his commitment on this weekend on Saturday. Of course, we have our eyes on Kelby Collins as well, but in terms of Alabama's offensive line recruiting efforts, we are keeping our attention on Raymond Polito, who took an unofficial visit to the University of Alabama on the weekend of July 31st for the Crimson Tide Champions Cookout as well. Still keeping our eyes on Kelby Collins, the 2023 four-star defensive lineman out of Gardendale High School as well, who's set to announce his commitment on Saturday alongside Polito. Down to Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma, and South Carolina. Has consistently looked like an Alabama-Florida recruiting battle. Both of those teams are fighting it out to the end to pull in Collins. It looks as if Georgia's trying to make, I wouldn't say a late surge, because Georgia has always been involved in this recruitment, but it seems as if they possibly are picking up some commitment in the push for Collins. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. We'll definitely have you guys covered when it comes to Kelby Collins' upcoming commitment announcement. You guys can learn a little bit more about Miles McVay's decision over at touchdownalabama.com. Basically go through the path of what made him commit to the Crimson Tide and how the Crimson Tide have consistently recruited him hard for more than a year now. But that is what I wanted to provide you guys an update on. Miles McVay becomes the Crimson Tide's 19th overall commit, their 4th offensive lineman pledge. As always, I am Justin Smith, the scouting and recruiting analyst for Touchdown Alabama.